I had a bit of an oil spill up there, and so now it's been falling down here. Anyway, alright, so Neo really upset me. He, uh, he slapped some Angorets, didn't you? Some real Angorets. Um, he saw a cat, and cat ran across the street. He followed the cat across the street onto someone's property, and I was doing my angriest, screamiest. I mean, not like screamiest, like, ah! But like, no! And he didn't give a damn. And that always works if I mean, I don't usually use that voice. But once I use it, he listens. Normally, I don't need to use it. He'll listen if I just say, hey, Neo, come here. Neo, stop. Hey, Neo, come here. But with a cat, or with any kind of small animal besides a small dog, uh, all right. So clearly, some reprogramming needs to be done, or some reprogramming. Let's maybe not put it that way. Just some education, some training. Right now, the arrangement of his its are as follows. We know he has in there, if Eris calls me, go to him. If Eris calls me, then go to him. We also know he has, if Eris says stop or is angry, stop. Cancel whatever the plans were. We know that he has those in there. We also know that he has the it if there is a cat. And we'll just leave it specifically with cats, because that's what we see the most of. And that's where we know that he's just totally unresponsive sometimes. Or, not even sometimes. We know he grew up with 2 cats. So we know he has experience with cats. Fred's convinced he's going to eat the cats. I know he's not going to kill the cats. First of all, he would never be able to catch the cat. That's what makes it so fun for him. Okay. So we know about its call. If Eris calls, then go to him. We know about it anger. If Eris, or I mean, well, if he receives the anger, so that would be volume or a certain kind of tone, or even certain words. When he hears me say things like, what do I say? Oh, fucking hell. When he hears me say that, he's like, oh shit, is this about me? If Eris yells, then stop. Okay. And then we also know about the cat it cat. If cat, then chase. We also know if the dog, if dog, if dog, then go smell and maybe dominate. Okay. So here are the its we've got that we know are in there. We know that when it slowly became if. We know that it dog we don't really know how to write these yet. Some shorthand. And right now I can't think of another word for this or another word for this, so I can't think of how to abbreviate. Anyway, we know that we'll call it I We know that when we need some kind of operator for when the sum is done. So we know. Oh gosh. Oh man. All right. We know that. Well, what am I gonna do then? Where can I write? Oh, is it? Oh, because I'm writing. Okay, that might be it. We know that I'm gonna call it ID. If Neo. That's what we'll call this. If Neo. So the it Neo. Oh, fuck. Alright, well, whatever. So that became it Neo. So we know that ID, and then whatever our operator is going to be, IN. We know that when the if dog, then get the hell over there. And that, when I first got him, that was strong as hell. If Neo didn't do shit, right? But then with practice, when if Neo and if dog were, what's the word? When they were talking, when they were, can we say when they were summing? So when these it sum, we know that the result well, we know that this one is the one that surlivers. Or we know that this one is the one that delivers. So when they sum, this one is the one that wins out. But I guess it would be useful to think of it as both of these talk to another it. And then that it. No, that can't be how it works. They can't just talk to a singular it, because the result could be there are multiple possible thens. Because we could say maybe there's like a summing it. So there's a summit that basically goes, and this is maybe a combination, right? This must be a combination of different neurons and pieces, but there's a summit that goes, if this wins, then do this. When these sum, if this wins, then do this. So yeah, there's some kind of a program like that, right? Where when two its sum, there's a summing it that, okay, if this one is stronger, then this is the thing that's executed. So somehow in the circuitry, it ends up like that. I don't know exactly how it happens, but and it might actually be known, but because people don't realize that they're brains, that knowledge isn't sort of spreading, because we're not talking about ourselves as computers the way that we should be. In any case, so for Neo, I need not only maybe to reinforce the Neo it, which means that when the condition is provided of being called, that this guy just tends to win no matter who he's summing against. Oh, we're talking about if cat. Oh fuck, whatever. So we need, and then we also, another possibility to help the it Neo win is to reduce the it cat. So we would need to practice with some cats or some cat seeming things, or we build up to that. Start with throwing a ball, some food, and then move over, and then really reinforce that competition, that sum, where it Neo wins against it ball, against it food, blah blah. Then we know we've gotten it Neo strong. We can also maybe reduce it cat. Now that can be done through reward. So he sees a cat, you say stop or something, and you give him a reward for him not going. Well, actually, basically, that's just going to give more strength to the it stop. It's not going to, but which is sometimes good enough. That'll win against the it cat then maybe. But it would be good to reduce the it cat. All right, so there's two ways to do that. One is punishment, and then two is no heed, no need. So basically, oh no, right. So by doing that thing where you train with the reward, you're going to be strengthening the like do what I say it. Not quite it Neo, it's not quite it anger, but it stop. You're going to be strengthening it stop. If Era says stop, then stop. You don't need to practice with anger. So just a nice, calm, authoritative stop. He doesn't go. And the more he practices that competition, that sum, then both ingredients are going to be changing. Both networks are going to be changing. The it stop will be getting stronger. And also, by not heeding the it cat will be getting weaker. That's just how learning works, luckily. Okay. Good. Do I regret how angry I got? Yes, of course. I'm not going to admit how I communicated it to him, because it'll just sound like I'm bragging, and there's no way for me to express the appropriate shame. Of course, it's natural. Every parent gets super angry when their kid, blah, blah, blah. We have those its in us. They are not very good its, to be yelling and smacking a kid because they were hiding in the mall or whatever. So I also have to work on that it. It was the image, because I know that there have been times at night where he has seen something, heard something, he'll run off, but I don't actually sort of see him running off. I hear him running off, and then I have to call him a little bit. The cat hides in a tree. He gives up on the cat and comes back to me. But to see it, that I wasn't prepared for. When that input came in, watching him run across that street, the fear I experienced, the anger from the disobedience, the ongoing frustration that I've had about him and cats, because we've been encountering more cats than we had previously in our relationship. As we're in this camper, there are cats in the street. We've only been in this camper for a year, and especially in Spain, for instance, I mean, even in France, you're going to have cats. And so this is new for both of us, for him to so often have the opportunity to pursue a cat. Yeah. So what's just unfortunate is that I have known for some time I need to train him on this. He's pretty good where he'll start to smell a cat. I'll see him start to, and he'll think, oh, it's just over there. But before he really gets hooked on it, before that protocol's fully running, when it's not like, when that cat hasn't been fully identified yet. So the only it that's going is, if I sense a cat, then investigate. That's all that's going right now. So he's investigating. If I sense a cat, then investigate. That is weaker than if Neo, it Neo or it anger, whatever. But once the cat's identified, I don't, and also that, yeah. Anyway, I don't mean to justify my anger. I just meant to explain it, but not excuse it. So I apologize to you, Neo. I apologize to you. And it serves me right, because I broke something that I need. So that was good. So that's a good to weaken my instinct to. Anyway. So there you go, a little example of sort of what it talks about, or what it looks like. I had an oil spill problem. What it looks like to talk about mental mechanisms with it theory. Actually, I didn't really use the vocabulary. Basically, we're trying to revoice Neo. We want this it to deliver, to surliver this it. It already surlivers this it. We have the new term some. We have no heed, no need. We talked about where by not heeding it cat through whatever means, by getting Neo to not heed it, the brain Neo will learn don't need it. Okay, that will start to sort of wither away eventually. I don't know how long it would take. Blah blah blah. Use this when you're thinking about humans as well. We think that just because humans understand language that they can be reprogrammed like that we can just tell them something and then that's the end of it. And then we see throughout our relationship that that's not the case, and we just get upset at the other person rather than getting upset at ourselves for not having understood that humans are brains, not magical souls that we can just reprogram like that. So, and that helps me enormously with frustrations that I've experienced with Neo, is that, okay, look, if he behaved that way, because that's what his it architecture is right now, that's what his system is. Okay, I need to give some more strength to some good its and some other strength, and weaken some maladaptive its. This is a maladaptive it. You do not need to be running across the street because there's a cat that you will never catch, and if ever you do get close, you will just lose an eye. All right.